Another round of applause for him. He's going to give us more like remarks on why we're here and which way we had to go. And immediately he finishes doing that, he doesn't wait for me. He moves on to present the RMRDC projects and programs and projects on industrialization in Nigeria by the same director, Minerals and Materials Development Department. But for now, he has the hat or cap of the Director General RMRDC. Dr. Manamada Mobugo, please come forward, sir. Look at the land to clap. If I know it clap, that's a bit Thank you.
Thank you very much, Umar. Let me begin by welcoming our special guests on this very auspicious day of the RMRDC Day. This day is very significant to the RMRDC because this is the day that we will tell our stakeholders what we have been doing in the last many years of our establishment. The Director General would have been here, but for exigencies of duty, he's out of Abuja. And he asked me to welcome you and also to represent him at this very important occasion. The day, as you have been told, is primarily to inform our stakeholders about what we are doing and also to solicit for partnership towards industrializing Nigeria. We were set up, as you have heard, when Nigeria was struggling to import the needed raw materials and spare parts in 1986 as a result of a policy of government of structural adjustment program. That program led to some dislocations in the industries because they were unable to import the needed raw materials. Primarily because the exchange rate has gone up and many other elements of structural adjustment program made it difficult for the industries to bring in the needed raw materials. And so the stakeholders, including NISA, that's Nigerian Institute of Social and Economic Research, Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, met and recommended to government that an agency should be established to assist them to source raw materials locally. And that was how our story began. In 1988, a decree was established, which is now an act of parliament, which has been reviewed recently in line with the dynamics of the industrial environment. So we began our journey in February 10th, 1988. And we started with a 4-year development plan, which articulated the key issues that the council was to address. Issues of gaps in raw material sourcing, issues of local technology, because we also have mandate to develop local technology for processing raw materials. So we began our journey. Today, what I will just highlight is the efforts that we have made over the years and solicit for partnership. We have gone ahead from R&D to establishment of pilot plants. So beginning, I don't want to talk more about our ambition, mandates, and in a nutshell, we are established to source raw materials for the industries. That's the summary of our mandate. I have said this, I have already finished the introduction. I have said this, please go ahead. Our vision is to be an indispensable catalyst for industrial growth and development in Nigeria. And then our mission is to promote the development and optimal utilization of Nigerian raw material resources for sustainable industrial growth. Now, in order to do this, we have mandate that was broken down into about 8 elements. But of recent, due to dynamics in the industrial environment and the need for us to make more impact, additional mandates, additional elements in the mandate were approved, and a new act for RDC was approved. And the key one there is to undertake measures to ensure systematic exploitation, development, and utilization of Nigerian raw material resources. Hitherto, we were unable to take any measure. We can only promote. But with this particular addition now, we can undertake any measure that we deem necessary to be able to carry out our mandate. The second one, which is also very strategic, the Council developed the national strategy for competitiveness in raw materials and products development. It's a holistic strategy that aims at addressing the issue of raw material sourcing. That strategy has been adopted and approved by the Federal Council, and the Council is already working towards implementing it. It has now been captured in the new Act. And another one, we have not been establishing laboratories. So we now have the mandate to establish laboratories across the country where we feel we need to establish those laboratories. So those are the mandate and the key ones that have been added. Not wasting much time on this, we all know that our natural resources comprise agricultural and mineral resources, and we have them in abundance. The agricultural resources, we all know that agriculture used to contribute about 70% and is still now the highest contributor to GDP. So our role is to make sure that we harness those potentials, and especially for our industries to thrive. These are all examples of agricultural raw materials. They are all examples. Fiber, cross, fruit and vegetables, grain, sorghum, anything you can think of about the... Then we have the mineral raw materials. These mineral raw materials, Nigeria now has about, officially we have about 34, but recently it has been upgraded to 44. And then we have 7 strategic minerals, which are very, very important for the development of Nigeria. These mineral resources, we have metallic minerals, we have non-metallic minerals, and then we have gemstones, and we have, next. Metallic minerals, the key ones there, you have copper, cassiterite, iron ore, lead, zinc, manganese. You can see lithium, which of recent is now a key energy mineral that has attracted a lot of attention globally. The non-metallic minerals, mainly industrial minerals, we have them there in abundance, and then the specialty minerals, columbite, tantalite, and then the radioactive minerals, we have uranium and chromite. Even uranium, we have it now. Next. We have the energy minerals, crude oil, bitumen, coal, precious metals, silver, gold, and the rest, and then gemstones. Next. Next. So this national strategy, which I mentioned as one of the elements now in our mandate, is essentially addressing the issue in the short, medium, and long term, the issue of raw material sourcing. And like I said, it has already been approved by the Federal State Council, and a key issue that came out of this strategy is the Presidential Executive Order number 5. It's the key issue that has come out of this. Mr. President has graciously approved this order, which has to do with local content development. And now with this particular order, which has a strategy task force coordinating office in the Federal Ministry of Science and Technology, is now being pursued to make sure that we develop local content with full backing by the Mr. President. So in order to do that, we need some support. We have the Raw Material Resource Center, which is a state-of-the-art center in our premises in the council in Metama here, that showcases all the raw materials that you can find in Nigeria, including their uses. And then we also have the Raw Materials Analysis and Certification Laboratory, situated at African University of Science and Technology. Then something very significant that happened is granting of the RMRDC, the ISO Training Center, by which now RMRDC has been organized by UNIDO to train small-scale operators in total quality management. That is ISO 9000 2015. So that ISO center, which we have in the office, is now training people and is actually certified by ISO. Next. Then everywhere we carry out raw materials, Nigerian Raw Materials Expo, where we bring in all the actors in the raw material supply value chain to showcase what they have. And from there, a lot of MOUs and supply agreements were signed. Next. SME processing clusters, also a lot of them sprang off as a result of this effort. Next. Now, Nigerian raw materials, industrial raw materials development. All the efforts we have been doing is all to develop industrial raw materials. Now, I will just list a few of them. Next. Alkyl resin, which we know is very important in the paint industry. We were able to develop alkyl resin from rubber seed oil. That will save the industry huge sums of money as a result of importation of alkyl resin. We have worked on the alkyl resin for dark colored paints, which we have patented, and then we have also moved to the one that will be used in brightly colored paints. We have patented the technology. For the second one is in process. This will grow the paint and rubber industry, because if you are using alkyl resin from rubber seed oil, a lot of rubber seed oils that hitherto are being wasted will now be utilized to produce alkyl resin. Phytomedicine for treatment of tuberculosis. We all know that tuberculosis is a very serious disease, and Nigeria has been listed among the 14 high burden countries for TB. And one issue about TB is that it's almost resistant to conventional antibiotics. And so we tried to find out from local plants. Many local plants were screened and were able to got that have activity against tuberculosis. And already now we have finished the R&D. We have produced capsules for this, and we are about doing clinical trials. Next. These are the plants that were finally chosen. 3 local plants. Next. Industrial grade talc. Talc is a very important raw material in rubber, plastic, paper, and so many industries. There are two types, the industrial one and the pharmaceutical grade talc. We have worked on the industrial grade talc. We have a pilot plant now that has been installed at our technology demonstration center. We are producing talc as we talk now for industrial grade. For the pharmaceutical grade, we are working on the wet process to further purify it. And very soon we will be able to produce the higher purity talc for pharmaceutical grade. The technology is already patented, and we put up a pilot plan to demonstrate that it can be done. And we are looking for investors who can partner with us. Next, Swiss sorghum value chain. What we did was, normally our Swiss sorghum variety that we have here locally is okay, but in terms of yield and sugar content, we felt that we needed to import another variety. So we imported another variety and planted it across the geopolitical zones, and we were able to demonstrate that that variety has more yield than the local variety. But we were using it now for glucose syrup production. We produce animal feed and we produce ethanol from it. And all these ones have been patented now. So we are ready to partner with investors in this particular one. Next. Next. Lobestatine for treatment of hypercholesteremia, that's hypertension. We have developed these statin drugs are already in the market. The drugs are already in the market, not lobestatine, but statin drugs. They are generally called statin drugs. You have lobestatine, so everyone is called statin. So this one was extracted from mushroom, a local variety of local species of mushroom. And we have finished the research. We have brought in machines to produce large-scale lobestatine as an active pharmaceutical ingredient, API. And one thing we did about this is that we also domesticated it, because we carried out research to see whether that particular species of mushroom can grow in Abuja. The first one was brought from Enugu, I think. So looking at the temperature and climatic conditions, in our NASDAQ facility we did an R&D to see whether it can grow here. And we have completed that one in the last 1 year. And the yield is very good, comparable to the one we got in Enugu. So we are working with some pharmaceutical companies in Nigeria currently on this. We had a meeting with manufacturers group in Man over some of these active pharmaceutical ingredients. They are willing to collaborate with us, and we are looking for more. We are looking for more investors who can partner with us towards commercializing this. Next. This is the mushroom, and this is when it was inoculated, and then the final product, lobestatine. This one it was growing. Anti-diabetic nutraceutical, we all know what diabetes is. It's a very serious disease. So we made an effort to see what we can do using locally available resources. And it will surprise most of us to find out that the skin of groundnut, the red skin of groundnut, has active principle that work against diabetes. And that 9-octa-olanide is an active principle that works against diabetes. We have patented this technology, and we have produced capsules for this. We are trying to do clinical trials. The next one, starch for pharmaceutical grade. This work is very significant because ordinarily cassava and maize are the major sources of starch. But looking at the competition, because cassava and maize are also food sources, we now decided to go into experimenting if we can use alternative source, which is not competing with other food crops. And that led us to coming out with a project that was designed to extract starch and test it to see whether it can be used for pharmaceutical grade, as pharmaceutical grade starch. The Taka starch has proved to be very good, and we have produced starch from it, and the starch has been used to produce tablets, paracetamol tablets, paracetamol tablets produced from the starch by a company in Lagos. This starch is actually used in the industry process. It's not a lab process now. We have passed that stage. And we have gone beyond this. We have also engaged, we have domesticated the wild yam, because the yam is not cultivated, it's only found in the wild. So in order to guarantee sustainable supply of raw materials, we had to carry out work to make sure that we can plant it. And now it can be planted, and once we have partners that are ready to source this starch locally, we can guarantee supply from our farmers. Next. This paint is actually to reduce the imputation of polyvinyl acetate, which is a major component in paint. So instead of bringing in PVC, okay, we now worked on this so that we can reduce that. This is the paint. Then adhesives. We develop adhesives from local raw materials for the paper industry, and it's also patented. Web offset ink also in the printing industry. We developed this to address the shortage of web offset ink. Next. Shea butter, we have done some work on shea butter. We know that it's a very important ingredient in the cosmetic industry. We have even developed a machine to extract shea butter from shea nuts. Next. Next. Yes, all shea butter. Okay, then tomato. We brought in a speedo species that will give good yield, and we have multiplied it across the country. Sweeteners. We have worked on sweeteners to replace sugar, so that, especially for diabetics, we can have alternative sweeteners that are not sugar. One of them is T-danelli. It's a protein sweetener extracted from T-danelli. Next. Sugar beet. We went into sugar beet because sugar beet is not cultivated in Nigeria at all. So we have done trials to see if it can do well here, and the trials have proved successful. We now have, we can produce it. We want to move from this level to producing the actual sugar from sugar beet. Stevia is one of the sweeteners which we are working on. We have planted it in different ecological zones, and we are trying to establish a pilot plant to produce sweetener from this. Next. Cotton and other fibers. These are the cotton varieties that we developed together with the Institute of Agricultural Research, ABU's area. Next. Next, tea and coffee. These are boosting program. Fruit juice concentrate. These are all boosting programs. We have what is called agricultural boosting program that supplies speedo varieties of agricultural raw materials to farmers so that they can boost their supply. Now, design and development of process equipment and plants. Apart from the industrial raw materials we develop, we also are engaged in developing local technologies for processing those raw materials. One of it is flash dryer. This dryer came as a result of government policy on 10% inclusion of cassava flour in wheat. So we developed flash dryer to make sure that the government policy that says 10% inclusion is achieved. With this flash dryer, you can have a higher quality cassava flour that you can use as a blend. You can see the flash dryer. Cashew nut shell liquid is a chemical, very important chemical that is used. We have developed the equipment and we have actually installed it in many places now. So we can reduce import of cashew nut shell liquid into Nigeria. Kalsan Kalin is one of the projects. Here we were able to produce Kalsan Kalin, which can replace partially titanium dioxide, which is used in so many industries, including paint and toothpaste products. We have a pilot plan for this, and we are looking for investors. Next. Next. Joshua. Acha dehuling. Next, this is an equipment that we developed to dehole acha, which is coal-hungry rice. The acha is so small and is very important food, especially for diabetics. Next. Self-processing. We have done some work. We developed pilot plans for self-processing in Nasarawa and Zaria to assist. Next. Brake pad. This is very important also. We have developed brake pads using palm kernel shell as a friction material instead of asbestos, which is carcinogenic. So we have even gone to the level of producing this in a factory setting. What we are looking for are investors who can partner with us to establish small-scale production outfit. Next. After that, we did trials because it's not enough to do only to produce it. We tested it in the labs, locally and internationally in the US. We also did demonstration trials. We fixed it on vehicles, commercial and personal vehicles, running into 2,000 to 3,000 kilometers. And it compared favorably, much better even than the imported brake pad. So we are working to see that this is commercialized. This caustic soda and prosthetic calcium carbonate, so much caustic soda is imported, especially in detergents, textiles, and so many other industries. And so we were able, it's one of our star projects, caustic soda. Where is the? It's one of the star projects that we have. We have a pilot plan for it now, and we have requests by many companies in Nigeria asking us to work with them to establish a pilot plant in their premises. So we are looking for investment in this area also. It's one of the star projects that we are showing. And mini refinery is just one area we assisted to see that we can, rather than complex refineries, we can have smaller modular refineries. We have worked on fluid catalytic cracking unit and naphtha hydrotreating units. We have patented them. We have a 100 barrel refinery, mini refinery, located in ABU. We are working with now. Gypsum scrubber. You know, this one, we had challenges with the quality of gypsum. And the miners complained to us, also the cement manufacturers. And so what we did was to work on how we can improve the quality of gypsum. And the result of that was the development of a scrubber, 30 tons of that scrubber. Now we have deployed the scrubber for gypsum miners to be able to meet up with the standard demands. Next. This weaving machine, laser glazing, castor oil and its derivatives. Very important. We have developed varieties of castor oil. We have worked with the ABU to also develop some new varieties of the castor seeds. And we have assisted industries in Abuja, there are about 2 or 3 of them, to set up castor oil plants. You know, it's used for cosmetics and in many other industries as a drying oil. So we have virtually, we are in control of the entire value chain of castor from beginning to the end. So we can work with partners to be able to, next. System seed cleaning, next. Gemstone mineral and buying centers. We have worked on this. We have a buying center allocated at African University of Science and Technology. The reason why we did this is that there are a lot of challenges with gemstones. So we felt that by providing a buying center, we should be able to support the small-scale gemstone miners. Next. We collaborated with the Office of the Vice President on micro, small, and medium enterprise. You know, one major thing that came out of the MSME is the clinic, which was it's a one-stop shop where all the relevant agencies of government will gather to provide solutions to MSMEs. And we have done a lot in this direction. We have supported a lot of MSMEs in their raw material sourcing issues. Catalytic model factories, now we have upgraded them to what we call more or less cluster, but they are all model factories because what we want to showcase here, these model factories, we started them at inception of the council when we wanted to show that we can process certain raw materials to provide products where they are located. So we did kaolin in Kankara and Gorzo, both industrial and pharmaceutical. We did phosphate in Sokoto and Ogun State, limestone in Calabar. Next. So those are just examples. Now this is our Professorship Ibrahim Technology Innovation Complex as NASDA. NASDA is around the airport road. All these pilot plants that are listed are domiciled in that technology center. Our partners who are showing interest to work with us can arrange a visit to our technology demonstration center so that they can see what we have there, and then from there we can work out how already some companies in the pharmaceutical industry and chemical industry are working with us through Manufacturers Association of Nigeria to see how we can set up some of these plants. So as part of our efforts, we have been able to patent over 34 technologies now. This is the list of technologies. Just continue. Some of these technologies have already been practicalized by way of establishing pilot plants. Those pilot plants we are talking about, some of them are already there. And our intention is all these 34 or 35, all of them will be converted to pilot plants. And you know also over the years we have produced over 300 publications in different areas of raw material sourcing and development. Some of them are on our websites. So investors are welcome to look at that. In conclusion, we were established to source local raw materials for the industries. And over the years, we have tried to not only source the local raw materials, but also demonstrate that they can be produced locally by establishing demonstration center. We have also gone ahead to develop some equipment for local processing of those raw materials. And where we are now, we are looking for investors who are ready to work with us to see that these technologies are in the market. The products of the technologies are in the market. We have produced feasibility reports on many of these projects, in addition to the fact that we have the pilot plans. So any serious investor that comes, all the things that he needs are already there. We will look at the feasibility report with him. So on this note, I'll say thank you for listening.
Thanks for having us. Very strong one, I think. What I saw, well, first of all, I admire your enthusiasm, madam. This is very good. Yes, this is someone that loves what she does, and it's good. Absolutely. Absolutely, this is good. So I like it. Dr. Mohamed Lawbuga has been able to, take us on a very long journey from one department to the other, all merged into one presentation, and we've been able to have in fact, basically, a spotlight on the activities of the major sectors of the RMRDC network. I think it's a beautiful achievement. If you look at it, they've reached the area of looking out for partnerships and investors to get the job into the market. Please, a round of applause again for RMRDC. Absolutely. And since our time is running so fast, sometimes when you're enjoying something, the time begins to creep on you. I've got partners or investors say they have one or two questions. I can accommodate only two questions. Only two questions. But just before I give the microphone, Dr. Shina Davani, Chief Operating Officer and Chief Engineer, Field Technology LLC USA, just acknowledging you. A round of applause for him. We also have here with us Mr. Engineer DD, International Collaborator, that's with RMRDC. You're welcome, sir. We also have here with us Dr. Ayan Wadozi, former SA Head of the Technology Consultancy, NOTAP. Where are you, sir? Okay, madam. And then we have Mrs. Olabisi Davis, Overseeing Director Planning, RMRDC. It's nice to have you here. Okay, so we have one question from one prospective investor and partner. Say your name and ask your question.
Not investor, collaborator, should I say that? What is your mechanism, what is your strategy for collaboration with academia? I represent Budona University, and we have interest in the production of jatropha. What is your capacity? What is the capacity that you could produce? And what is your mechanism for partnership?
His organization is interested in jatrophyte. He wants to know the capacity of RMRDC. I hope the book is listening, so that I don't forget some of these questions. To respond. Let's take the question one after the other so that we don't forget. Honestly, just one more question. Let him respond to that one. It's a brief question. Jatrophyte.
Sorry, you said jatropha. No, it's castor oil. From what we have is a small scale plant. Yeah, very small. But we have capacity to upscale it if we have a real partnership. One important thing that I have not mentioned is capacity building. Over the years, we have built capacity for sustaining any raw material processing industry that come out of our efforts. What we have done is that center we have in NASDA, if you go there, you see there are people we train within the country. Almost 98% of the equipment there are locally fabricated and the finishing excellent. So we have capacity to sustain it, and that's why we're showcasing it. it's not just the raw material issue, it's also technology to process it. And on the issue of mechanism, usually if you are an investor, we have an arm, Business Innovation Center. It's the commercial arm of the council. We can work with private entrepreneurs to set up SBPs, special purpose vehicles, depending on what they want, when we discuss. Yeah. Oh, okay. Like no, we have capacity to produce the plant that you need. But what I'm saying is that are you talking about the raw material? The raw material is that one is not a problem, because in the past we have had issues when if you encourage farmers to grow and then when they come there's no off-taker. And that's why all these ones we have done now, if the raw material is not available, we make sure that we domesticate it. And we have farmer associations that we're working with all over the country. We can guarantee sustainable supply of raw material. So all we need is, if you are ready to partner with us, we'll sit together and discuss, come out with MOU and MOA, and we move forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much. For those that are, please round of applause for that response. That means the door is open. If you want to do partnerships or investment, you can have a discussion with the management. One last question now, last question from this end, and then we'll close it up. 2 questions only, it was what I requested. Last one.
Thank you very much. I don't want to bore you, but let me stand on the existing protocols. First, to thank raw materials for bringing us here. It's laudable, it's commendable. And as an eyewitness observer, this is the 7th Expo. I've attended 6 comfortably. The only one I didn't attend was the one in Enugu because I had a foreign trip. What I'm intending to say is I've followed in a very good trend the performance of Raw Materials Council. I want just to give them a round of applause. Why have I said this? Industrial raw materials is key for industrial development. They have solved a very big problem where Nigeria has been facing a high level of foreign exchange challenges, especially for our industries. So I want to congratulate my dear brother, Professor Ibrahim, the Director General, and his team for this laudable step they have taken. Having said that, I'm speaking from the standpoint of somebody who served in the UN. I was the Nigerian rep to UNIDO in France, and I was involved in investment promotion. So I'll talk from that perspective, and these products they are brought before you. Yes, I will not, yes, I know everybody wants to talk, but let me, yes, your time is up. Okay, let me quickly say this, that the progress of raw materials over the periods I've watched them. 2017, in terms of research institutes, they were third. 2018, they rose to second position. From 2019, 2020, and 21, they've maintained the first position. So give them a round of applause. So when your trajectory is showing an upward trend, it means you are involving yourself more with innovation, research findings, which are supposed to leapfrog into industry. And I'm volunteering here for partnership with the private sector to actualize some of these researches here and to take them to the external market. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Our time is really squeezing us tight. Thank you. Let's quickly recognize the Honorable Pius Anko Edit, Commissioner, that's Edit, Commissioner, Ministry of Science and Technology, Government of Cross River State. Welcome, sir. We also have Director General, Center for Management Development, CMD, Dr. Apache Ima, now, Chukwuma will come forward to introduce Engineer Joe Adekunle and give us the closing remarks. Chukwuma. Thank you so much for riding with us to this point. At least this seems to be the cream of all of it. We're talking about 300 publications, right? We're talking about 35 patents. And you are not clapping for us. One patent alone will take you 5 years of gruesome labor, both R&D and in the field, and we have 35. Some of which are already being applied by the industries. Some of them you're consuming without. Mr. Omar, I hope take your time. So at this point in time, ladies and gentlemen, please let me invite Luke, take your time. Engineer Adekunle, please. Dr. Adekunle, please, could you please put your hands together for him?
My duty is so simple, just to thank everybody that attended this event. First of all, I want to use the opportunity to thank God for giving us the grace to be in attendance in RMIDC Day of this Science, Technology and Innovation for 2023. If this was tarries, all of us will be witnessing the same Techno Expo next year, in Jesus' name. Having said that, I want to use this opportunity on behalf of the Director General of Raw Materials and Oil Council, Professor Izdi Ibrahim, management and staff of the Council, for the August visitors, stakeholders, industrialists that have attended the RMIDC Day in this exposition. You agree with me that the Council has done a lot of work as regards raw material development in Nigeria, with the area of patents that were presented, area of projects that are ready to be taken up by really investors. Even the one that we have done the pilot, and we are just waiting for investors to take over. So we are inviting the investors to take advantage of what the Council has done. Then most of our publications, if you want to know much about the Council, you can come in to RMIDC to have a glance at our resource center. Then some of the publications will educate you more on the activities of RMIDC. We want to thank everybody here present today for attending, taking time off to attend RMIDC Day in this exposition. Thank you very much. I want to thank special recognition for Dr. Buga, who has ably represented the Director General of RMIDC. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for coming.
Please, a round of applause for Engineer Joe Adekunle for doing a good job moving it up for us. Well, this is the icing on the cake. He did it beautifully well. Many thanks to my brother here. I want to call it brand new, Cha-Cha-Cha-Cha, Director of Corporate Services, Chukwuma. If you're working with me, no, I don't have my own honor. My name is Yahya Omar. We'll be doing this again by the grace of God. I'm a member of the family, and we'll do this again. God bless you all, and God bless RMIDC. Before we leave, Omar is of the Federal Road Corporation of Nigeria, FRCN. He talked about everybody and left himself. You think you can hide? You mentioned that. You failed to mention that.